Hi there, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Just a little one, it's not too long. I just found it very surprising that so many people don't know Simon Parkes' background. Not at all, they just don't know who he is, yet they're believing what he's saying without knowing who the man is. So I've been onto his site and I thought I'd put this little video together with a little bit of background on Simon Parkes. And I'm doing a part two as well. Part two will go into what I know about him from personal experience, my experience and interaction with him, and go through the emails I received from him and these kind of things. Because I did appear in a TV show with Simon Parkes a long time ago, so that's where his feud comes from. He's been jealous since day one, and just trying to discredit me in every way he can without me even having to do anything, just by existing. There's a few people around like that. I call them psychos. But I have a few mad fans like that, yeah, who I just seem to annoy them just by being alive, I don't have to do anything. And it always interests me. So I've put this together, just a few bits and pieces about Simon Parkes. I went on the site, got the information from there, and a few bits at the end of my own and things like that. So I hope you enjoy and get to know a little bit about Simon Parkes. And there is a part two as well. That'll be coming shortly in a few couple of days. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try and read this without laughing. Simon grew up in a family that had links to British and American intelligence. Simon's mother worked for MI5. However, while she was managed by MI5, she was in reality working for the NSA. Simon's grandfather was employed by the Secret Intelligence Service, better known as MI6. In reality, he was reporting to the CIA. Simon's grandfather was also a British diplomat, holding the position of Vice Consul and then Consul of the British Embassy in Pondicherry, Puducherry, India. While in India, he was awarded an OBE and CBE medals and turned down a knighthood. In 1936, he was one of the wise men of 12, or called the Jury of 12, who voted on the question regarding King Edward VIII, and if the king should be removed regarding special branches uncovering of a Nazi plot to infiltrate the king. I had nothing to do with wanting to marry a divorcee. Over a secure teleprinter link, he was asked in code, should the king go or should the king stay? Grandfather voted go. It was his decision. Simon's mother raised him herself, never remarrying. From around 1965 until her death in 1979, she worked on secret documents, which were printed in German and came from the British and American quarters of the then divided Berlin. The documents related to crashed UFOs, which had been retrieved by American forces and were sent for back engineering to Operation Paperclip, German scientists. During this period, and before and after, Simon had UFO experiences himself. Simon's mother died in suspicious circumstances in 1979 when she asked to be released from the work. Thereafter, Simon received £2,000, which was pushed through the door in an envelope with the notes, "Don't look back, Dick Whittington," and with this, Simon relocated to London. In 2010, Simon went public with his experiences and predictably was verbally attacked and ridiculed by the mainstream media. In 2013, Simon was invited to a tour of a space radar base in North Yorkshire with a group of 20 serving and retired military. Simon was the only civilian in the group, at the end of which he was given a commemorative medal coin, a limited edition for only 500 worldwide, celebrating 50 years of the USAF being by a base in North Yorkshire. It is number 86. No one else in the group was given one. This visit was a game changer. Suddenly the British media stopped hounding him. Simon went on to establish Connecting Consciousness, a free-to-join organisation dedicated to raising people's awareness with a spiritual context. Today the organisation operates in many countries and has thousands of members. As far as I know, Simon's always lived in Whitby, so I don't know when he relocated to London. He was always in Whitby, even when he came forward. I don't know when he's supposed to have lived in London. His mother was an alcoholic. He never said she worked for MI5 or MI6 before. That just came out sort of fairly recently, really. it wasn't coming out at the beginning. It was only when I came forward with my story that he started changing things about his. His mother was MI, part of the secret intelligence, his grandfather's secret intelligence, better known as MI6, given an OBE and a CBE, and he was the one asked for the final decision on whether the king should stay or go. Amazing family he comes from, considering he was an only child and he didn't know any of his family at all. Didn't know anyone in his family at all. Amazing how he knows all this family history, how he knows all these secret things. So they're heavily involved. I would say the only thing true in this whole thing, this whole about page on his, is the fact that he came forward in 2010. That's the only thing I would agree with. The only thing. And because I came forward in 2011 and he didn't like that at all. From day one, he's been sticking the knife in, bad-mouthing me, sending emails to people about me. And I just did the one interview with Miles Johnson and went about my business like nothing happened. Didn't mix with circles, didn't have an online presence, wasn't making videos, wasn't doing anything. So he had no reason really to, I wasn't jumping on his patch. He was just so scared from day one that I don't know why. You'd have to ask him that. I have my own ideas, but it's because I'm genuine and I can get evidence, and it blows his whole sack of shite out of the water. All the secret agents, CIA, NSA, MI6, MI5. What planet is he on? Really, seriously, what planet is this guy on? And not only were they in the agencies, he was OBE, CBE, he was in India, he was a vice consul, he was a diplomat, he was this, he was that. Imagine having all those in your family, all that mixed bunch. And then he goes around saying they're trying to kill him constantly. The CIA are chasing me, the MI5 are chasing me, they're watching me. Well, if you're working for them, they don't need to watch you constantly, do they? What is this shit? The Illuminati are after me, yet I'm in the Illuminati, yet I'm high up in the Illuminati. My grandfather was Illuminati. We're all mixed with Nazis, yet they're all trying to kill me, trying to shut me up. How does that work? What is it? I don't get it, what you're trying to say. You're so mixed up in your own bullshit, it's up to your neck. You don't even know what you're saying. You don't even know what you are saying. To a normal person with 2 brain cells, it's nonsense. And more people are starting to realise it. So how has he suddenly become the common people's friend and saviour with all these connections tied up with all these agencies? All the agencies, everything that people hate. Everything that people don't like about this world, and he claims to be connected to all of them. And that's not even good enough. He's connected to off-world beings as well, high-powered beings. And he's like a god to them. He's their little god. They take him up and they bow down to him. He has little kitten kids. Who is this god of a man? My goodness. And then with Q, do they not mind that he has all these MI5, NSA, CIA, all these connections? They don't mind at all. No, nobody minds. All these people that he's taking donations of, none of you mind this nonsense at all. Did any of you look into his background? Go to his website, SIMONPARKES.org. So he's not working, he can't work. The Illuminati don't let him work because he's so powerful that no one wants to take him on. He's too much trouble, too much hassles, too much comes with him, You're not allowed. Nothing goes right. They interfere with everything. Yeah, and they're always trying to kill him. Yet he works for them all his family connections. How? I still don't get that. There's nobody else asking these questions. So he has to live off donations. Hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of them. So previously he's hopping over to CERN to sort that out. There was something went wrong and he had to fly over there to sort it out. We have him going to the Rothschilds, doing demonic possession. What do you call it? Exorcisms for the Rothschilds. This man is amazing. He is amazing. How have we done without him for so long? Why didn't you come forward sooner, Simon? Why leave it till 2010? Why did you leave it that long? Imagine all the work he could have done. Imagine all that money he could have raked in. So among the services of this amazing man, he does soul readings, he does general consultation, which I've heard he charges about £100 for half an hour, or £100 for 60 minutes, but he normally just talks about himself, so I wouldn't bother. Who wants to hear about him? And deprogramming healing. So apparently the moon programs you. The moon programs you, and he's the only one that can deprogram you. So all these people walking around in such a trance and in a state of being programmed for something, God knows what kind of programming the moon is doing, but he can deprogram it for a fee. And I imagine that may take more than one session. I don't think he could do it in one session. That will be a series of sessions. You know, they book you in for 6 months or whatever. And then he does demonic possession, bearing in mind, let's see what that says. A number of clients are afflicted by dark energy beings, the jinn being one of many. In those cases where the client wishes to expel, be free of such entities, Simon is also able to bring this about. In the meantime, you can go to the jinn demonic possession page of our website. The initial consultation for the above two services is £100 for 60 minutes. What can he do in 60 minutes? It takes him 45 minutes to tell you about himself. Depending on the depth and work required, there may be an additional charge, see? Now, as far as I thought only special priests could do exorcisms. He's classing himself as a qualified exorcism here and does advise Skype. Very modern, these exorcists nowadays, you know. What a load of bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Demonic possession? I'm just editing. I'm not editing that out. It's too difficult, so I'm going to leave it. Demonic. Oh, what a prat. There's this painting here. Somebody did it for Simon yesterday, and he's got it on his site. So I thought, well, somebody's done that one, so I thought I'd do a little few pictures for him as well. So on Reface. So I'm going to attach those in. I have to amuse myself somehow. Hope you can have a good laugh. It was quite funny. I'll close with a lovely little email from Simon Parkes, sent out to all UFO researchers, anyone who had a magazine, podcast, anyone regarding me. I thought I'd just put that in at the end, so to close with that. Bearing in mind, as I said, I just came forward, did one interview, an hour long, one interview, and it caused him to jump up and down in his pram. That will be in part 2. And all his little antics on TV and all the rest of it. Because I did appear in a little mockumentary, I call it, with Simon Parkes. And I've got a few stories to tell about that. I have a friend called Dave Partridge, and he runs Shadows of Your Mind. Is it Shadows of Your Mind magazine? I think it's Shadows of Your Mind. Mine has gone blank and getting senile. He did an interview with me, and he believed me what I was saying about Simon Parkes. There's loads of other proof, and he's spoken to loads of other people as well. So he did an interview with me, not about Simon Parkes, but about my own experiences, and there was a little bit about the feud with Simon Parkes at the end. And they didn't like it at all. A little bit about Miles Johnson as well. They did not like it, and they caused so much grief with all the trolls and everything for Dave that he ended up actually closing the magazine for a while because he just could not be asked with the harassment and unbelievable. The same things they were doing to me, they just started. So he saw exactly what I was saying was true because they did it to him, you know. So there's nothing I was lying about. They showed their actions and exposed themselves continually. But he did send this email to Dave. Let me read it for you. Dear Dave Partridge, Dave sent it to me, so I just received this a few minutes ago. Dear Dave Partridge, your magazine recent interview with the above named individual has been brought to my attention. Are you aware that the Metropolitan Police have issued the above named a police warning caution regarding her untrue and scurrilous allegations against me. Metropolitan Police crime number is NPS 6004610/18. She threatened to assault me, to firebomb my home, and accuse me of being a paedophile. Those are criminal acts and have been treated by the Metropolitan Police as such. The false allegations she raised against me were investigated by the police and found to be untrue, and the result that a crime was registered and Marie Keoli was dealt with by the Metropolitan Police and told that any further activity would lead her to her arrest and being brought before the courts. In your article, you write, in regard to me and a Mr. Miles Johnson, that we are less than honest individuals. Will you therefore please provide me with the evidence for you to make such claims with which you have printed and published? And the further emails then, I'm saying, oh my God, sorry about that. I sent Dave copies of the police report. My call to the police with them saying he's talking nonsense, that crime number does not exist and all the rest of it. And but I just thought it was interesting. I just came across this. I forgot about this, but I just came across this now, so I thought I'll do a quick video. Everything in that email is absolutely downright lies. Police never spoke to me. I actually called the police for him, and he was spoken to by the police. He slandered me, defamed me, went up and said all these things about me, and then I threatened to petrol bomb his house because I'm Irish, you know. She's going to petrol bomb me. I called him a paedophile, loads of lies, and I've never even mentioned the man before, never even mentioned him. And he went up and said all these lies and sent this email around confirming his own bullshit. The police have spoken to her, like saying this to people as well, and private. Quite a few people emailed me about it and says he's just sent me this. I have a lot of friends who know me well and know I'm a trustworthy person and an honest person. I don't get involved in any bullshit or anything like that. You know, I'm quite known or unknown for anything because I don't do anything. So no one can say, oh, she's this, she's that, no this about her, no that about her. I don't mix with any circles. I've been on my own, stay on my own, and have a few supporters who follow me for a long time. Saw my channels go down, lost all my subs plenty of times, and I still have the same few hundred that stayed with me from day one who've seen all this. It's nothing new. So, but he's in the limelight now, and he tries to hide all this. And there's other people like me, plenty of other people. I received loads of emails from people from the Connecting Consciousness show. So there's a lot of unhappy people out there about Simon Parkes, not just me. And he goes around striking and harassing and threatening people with lawyers. And some people are scared of that, you know, when they hear lawyers, oh, I better not. And it frightens them. It doesn't frighten me. Bring it on, I say, Parkes, bring it on. He didn't just go and say this to a few people. He put this on his website. He made 2 or 3 statements, full page-long statements with this fake information. Then he went up on radio shows saying it, hundreds of thousands of listeners. Then he went up on the Wolf radio, and the guy there, JP, this is why he canned the show. He was sitting there when Simon Parkes was reading out those lies. He said he didn't know where to put his face and he felt so uncomfortable. And then Simon Parkes ordered him to close all the comments so people couldn't respond. The usual trick, you know, closes his comments. So I have proof of everything I say. Put the link for Dave's magazine, Shadows of Your Mind, and where he refers to Miles and Simon Parkes is in the, let me see which issue. Issue number 4, July and August 2018. So it's the summer, you know, it's going on 2 years, isn't it? 2.5 years. He's still going on about it now, still trying to get it taken down. Because people can look these kind of things up. He doesn't want to leave any footprints, even though he's coming out with all this shite. He doesn't want any evidence of it left behind. He wants it all removed so people get amnesia. So I've put the link for Dave's magazine. It's very, very good. He started doing it again. He did close for a while because of all this shite, you know, and other things, I suppose, and a lot of hassle. And it's only a hobby at the end of the day. But it's very good. And his articles are really good. And have a good look there. He only deals with evidence really as well. So a lot of the things is evidence backed up. And it's very interesting stuff in magazines. And it's free. It's online. It's free. I'm sure you can donate something if you want, but I've never heard Dave ask for any donations anytime. I've never begged or anything like that. So it's not one of these. But there's some really good articles in there. It's got the missing 411 in my episode, and hunting the Skinwalker Ranch. These well-known things, and a few hoaxes he puts in there as well, and up-to-date news and some news from other podcasts. And it's very interesting. So I'll put the link there. Anyway, you can have a look. It's an online free magazine. You've nothing to lose, have you? Okay, thanks very much for watching. Hope you found this information informative and of use. It's getting to know who Simon Parkes really is, and I've got a part 2 coming up with a lot more information in that one. Thank you. Bye for now. Be well, everybody, and thank you to all my new subs again. Thanks very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly, and that will solve the problem. It's M for mother, P for Peter, S for Sierra, 600-4610/18. Now, apparently, I've been cautioned by the police. I'm on warning. If I say anything about this man, I'll be arrested immediately. So it never happened. I've actually got complaints going against him and somebody else with the police in the West Midlands at the moment. So I know London quite well. So, but I knew this number just looks dodgy to me. So you've just confirmed it's not a valid number. That's fine. That's all I need to hear, really, and I can relax.
Okay.
So, I mean, what about Simon Parkes? He says he's gone to the police about me 3 times, which he hasn't.
I would imagine somebody's going to be investigating this. To be
Can
honest
you
with
tell me, is there a report about me to the police? Because he's saying it here in public, the police have gone to her twice. I haven't had any complaints
Well, in
against
that
me.
case, if the police haven't been to you, he's just talking nonsense, isn't it?
Well, how